Hello class, for today's lesson is about multiplying and dividing integers. And here are the learning targets. First, I can multiply and divide integers correctly using the rules of signs. 2, I can explain how and why the sign of the answer changes when multiplying or dividing integers. Now here is simple summary in multiplying and dividing integers. So if both signs are the same, the result would be positive. And if they're different, the result would. So basically, when we multiply a positive number times a positive number, the result would be positive. If you multiply a negative times a negative number, the result is positive. And if you multiply negative times positive and vice versa, the result is negative. It is also the same with dividing integers. So positive divided by positive, the result is positive. Negative divided by negative, the result is positive. And negative divided by positive or vice versa is negative. And I hope that's clear. Now, let us apply some concept of signs with regard to good and evil. So I'll just say our positive here is good and our negative here is evil. So let's have in a situation whether either multiplication or division, either of the two. Now, I'm just gonna use multiplication here since the concept of both operations would result the same thing. So we have here positive times positive. Let's have negative times negative, positive times negative, and negative times positive. Now, let's have some story meaning. Good, sorry. Now, good supports good. So obviously, good wins. And it is a positive thing, obviously. Now, let's have evil fights evil. Now, if both evil fight each other, then that means good wins as well. Now, if good helps the pursuit of evil, then that means evil wins. And lastly, if we have negative times positive here, so if evil attacks good, then that means evil wins. So on this side, we can consider this as the results of the story or the concept that we had based on good and evil with regard to multiplying or dividing integers. Now let's have some examples involving numbers this time. So when we multiply here, we have negative 10 times negative 5. So obviously we have negative times negative. So that means the result is positive. And 10 times 5 is 50. Again, when we are writing positive numbers, we don't need to have a positive and then the number. Because every number that doesn't have any negative sign is already considered as positive. And I hope that's clear to you. So let's erase this first. And next, let's have 12 times negative 4. So obviously, we have here a positive number times a negative That means the result would be negative. Now after that, let's multiply just the number themselves. So 12 times 4 is 48. Next, let's have negative 8 times 9. So similar to what we had in the second one. So negative times a positive number is negative. So, and 8 times 9 is 72. Fourth one, we have negative 7 times negative 11. So both are negative numbers, same with the first example. So this one would be positive, and 7 times 11 is 77. And last one for multiplication. So let's have 15 times negative 3 equals, we have positive times negative, so obviously this one would be negative. Okay, so negative, and then 15 times 3 is 45. So here are just some 5 basic examples in multiplying integers. But instead of ending this, let's just have one last example. So instead of using 2 terms, let's have 3 instead. So here, let's have negative 2 times 4 times negative 3. So although there are 3 terms here, we just need to remember or be cautious of the sign. Because if in an operation of signs, if one is wrong, then everything is wrong. So we need to recognize here first, we have here negative, we have a positive, and a negative. So negative times positive is negative, and negative times negative is positive. So let me have a notation here again. Negative times positive here is negative, and the result of the two, so let's write it here. So the result of the two is negative, and negative times negative is positive. So that means our answer here should be positive. So negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 3 is 24. Positive 24. And that's it. So I will just give one example involving 3 numbers or terms. And for our activity, it might be 4 or 5. It depends. Now, this time let's have dividing integers. So I'll give basic examples here. First, so we have here negative 36 divided by negative 6. So same signs, negative divided by negative, so that means the answer should be positive. And just dividing the base numbers, we have 36 and 6. So 36 divided by 6 is just 6. Next, we have negative 90 divided by 15. So obviously, a negative number divided by a positive number, so that means the result would be negative. And 90 divided by 15 is 6. That's why our answer is negative 6. Let's have 64 divided by 8. So obviously, both numbers are positive. That means our result would also be positive. And 64 divided by 8 is positive 8. Now let's try to apply 3 terms here. So we'll have negative 72 divided by negative 9 divided by divided by negative 2. So first, let's have it here. Negative 72 divided by negative 9. Obviously, negative divided by negative is positive. So for the first two, the result is positive. So 72 divided by 9 is 8. And 8 divided by negative 2 is negative. So positive divided by negative is negative. So our result here is negative. Now 8 divided by 2 is 4. And that ends our discussion for today.